Imagine this, your LLC is flush with cash, properties, and investments, but when a lawsuit comes knocking, poof, you're untouchable, off the radar, out of the public records. Your assets, safe as a vault. Your stress, zero. So how do you make this happen? Go ahead and stick with me for the next several minutes and I'll walk you through the exact steps to make your LLC rich and yourself lawsuit-proof using 3 secret strategies that provide the ultimate shield. I'm the CEO of the Lawyers Limited Law Firm and Asset Protection Planners, and I've been in the asset protection game for 34 years, with 30 of those years setting up trusts in the Cook Islands, my firm. We've set up more Cook Islands trusts than anybody in the world. So this video is your roadmap to bulletproofing your wealth, and trust me, you'll want to watch every second. So grab a coffee, hit that subscribe button if you haven't for more wealth-saving tips, and let's jump in. Let's cut to the chase. Asset protection isn't some luxury, it's a necessity. In the US, there's over 40 million lawsuits filed every year. That's 1 every 2 seconds. Small business, 1 in 4 will face a lawsuit in their lifetime, according to the US Chamber of Commerce. And here's the kicker. 60% of those lawsuits target personal assets, not just business ones. And if your name is tied to your wealth, you're a neon sign for creditors, plaintiffs, and even nosy competitors. I've seen it firsthand. Take Mark, a client of ours, name changed for privacy. Mark ran a landscaping business in Florida. He had a nice house, boat, and a healthy 401k. Then a delivery driver claimed that Mark's crew caused an accident, sued for $2 million, and won because Mark's assets were easy to find. His savings, gone. His boat, sold at auction. Then he came to us at assetprotectionplanners.com and he said, I thought I was safe. He wasn't, because he didn't have a plan. And that's why we're here today. The goal, make your LLC rich, the one holding your assets, while you look like you're living the simple life. No fancy cars in your name, no public record screaming sue me. We'll start with a Wyoming LLC. Move to a Cook Islands LLC and then top it off with a Cook Islands Trust. Ready? Let's go. So why a Wyoming LLC? Because it's the MVP of LLCs for privacy and protection. So here's the deal. When we form a Wyoming LLC, we typically set it up for our clients so your name doesn't show up in the public records. You can use our nominee manager, someone who acts as the LLC's public face, while you stay behind the curtain. We add a virtual office address and a phone number, and you're practically invisible. No one's showing up at your doorstep with a subpoena. So let's talk numbers. Forming a Wyoming LLC costs less than $1,000. And you want to make sure it's set up right, professionally. Don't cut any corners. The annual estate fee is just $52 plus the registered agent. Now compare that to Delaware, where you're paying $300 a year, or California, where it's $800 plus a side of bureaucracy. Now Wyoming has no state income tax, no corporate tax, and no tax on LLC profits. It's like they rolled out the red carpet for your money. Plus, Wyoming laws are ironclad. Courts rarely pierce the LLC veil, meaning your personal assets stay separate from your business liabilities. Here's a real example. Lisa, a freelance consultant, was killing it with her online business, but her California LLC listed her home address as a registered agent. Creepy clients started digging, and even one threatened to sue her over a contract dispute. So we helped Lisa set up a Wyoming LLC through assetprotectionplanners.com, of course. We got her a virtual office in Cheyenne and a nominee manager. So we have the virtual office plus the nominee. That keeps your name out of the public records. Business equipment, all owned here in her Wyoming LLC. Her California LLC just leases the equipment from her Wyoming LLC, pays her Wyoming LLC. We put her house into a land trust for privacy of ownership. Now her business assets, bank account, intellectual property are in the Wyoming LLC's name, and her name's nowhere to be found. So when that client tried to sue, there was nothing in her California LLC. It was empty. It was virtually worthless. Case dismissed. Lisa's Wyoming LLC that doesn't do business with the public, rich. Her California LLC, poor. Lisa personally off the grid. But here's the catch. Wyoming's great, but it's still in the USA. Determined, results-oriented judges can sometimes crack the shell. So here's why we go offshore next to the Cook Islands. So welcome to the Cook Islands, not just another paradise for sunsets, but the holy grail of asset protection. Now, Cook Islands LLC takes the privacy to a whole new level. If somebody wants to sue you, they have to play by Cook Islands rules, and those rules are like a steel trap. So here's how it works. A Cook Islands LLC doesn't file in the public records. Your name, your assets, completely private. The Cook Islands has a 1-year statute of limitations on fraudulent transfer claims compared to 4 to 10 years in most U.S. states. So that means creditors have a tiny window to challenge your asset moves, and good luck. And get this, filing a lawsuit in the Cook Islands costs upwards of $100,000 just to start. So you need a local lawyer, and in the U.S., anybody can sue you for $400 in a grudge. And stats back this up. A 2024 asset protection study found that those with offshore LLCs, like those in the Cook Islands, we also use Nevis down in the Caribbean, and Belize in Central America, can deter 94% of lawsuits before they're even filed. Why? Plaintiffs know they're climbing up Everest in flip-flops. Let's talk about Tom, a real estate investor who came to us after a tenant lawsuit cost his friend everything. So Tom owned 6 rental properties worth $3 million. But he was paranoid about being targeted. So what we did is we put each property, including his home, into separate land trusts. The land trust gave him privacy of ownership. For his rental properties, we set up separate LLCs as the beneficiary of each land trust. Then we set up a Cook Islands LLC, opened a bank account in the Cook Islands LLC's name, and what we did is we recorded equity line of credit mortgages against the real estate. And these were all payable to the Cook Islands LLC. And then we have a third-party lender waiting in the wings, ready to buy these mortgages if needed. So a year later, a tenant claimed mold issues and sued for $1 million. The plaintiff saw the Cook Islands LLC liens, but they realized they needed a private jet and a small fortune to fight it. So they dropped the case faster than a hot potato. So Tom's LLC held the whelp. He was untouchable. But we're not done. The real magic happens when you put that Cook Islands LLC into a Cook Islands Trust. So now we're at the top tier, a Cook Islands Trust with a Cook Islands LLC inside of it. So this is the setup that we've mastered at Lawyers Limited, and I'm proud to say that we've set up more Cook Islands Trust than any firm in the world. For nearly 30 years, I've been helping clients build this fortress, and after 34 years in the asset protection field, I can tell you, there's nothing that protects your wealth like this. That's why I have one. So here's the playbook. We create a Cook Islands Trust, the legal vault for your assets. Inside of it, we place a Cook Islands LLC to hold your wealth. Think bank accounts. Real estate, where we add other legal tools like land trusts and U.S. LLCs and equity stripping, or even your classic car collection using privacy trusts and equity stripping liens. So you're named as the manager of the LLC here. Okay, you're the manager, so you have the control. You can invest, buy, sell, whatever you want. You can log in online, do stock trades, whatever. But here's the game changer. If a lawsuit or creditor comes after you, our licensed bonded trustee company law firm in the Cook Islands steps in as manager of the Cook Islands LLC. So they lock the assets away, making them untouchable. So why is this so powerful? First of all, Cook Islands trusts ignore U.S. court orders. In a famous 1991 case I remember reading years back, FTC versus Affordable Media, a U.S. court demanded that a Cook Islands trust release the funds. The Cook Islands said, no dice, and the assets stayed safe. And since then, properly structured Cook Islands Trust have a 100% success rate in protecting assets, 100%. In fact, second, it's private. Your name is not on the public records. The trustee handles everything. And third, it's flexible. You can add assets, change beneficiaries, dissolve the trust if life changes. You can change who the trustee is if you want to. So here's a stat that warms your heart. 97% of our clients with Cook Islands Trust say they sleep way better at night in our internal surveys. So let me tell you about Susan, a tech founder with $8 million in stock options. She was terrified of a competitor suing for her intellectual property theft. So we set up a Cook Islands Trust, like you see here, with a Cook Islands LLC inside to hold her assets. We set up an international brokerage account in Switzerland. 2 years later, that competitor filed a $15 million lawsuit. Susan had exercised her option by then. Susan's U.S. lawyer was nervous, but our Cook Islands trustee company stepped in as manager to protect the assets in the LLC, told the plaintiff's team to go pound sand, and the case collapsed. Why? Because the plaintiff can't afford to fight the Cook Islands where they're probably going to lose. Susan kept every cent and sent us a thank you note saying, You saved my future. Now, I know this sounds complex, but it's not. At Asset Protection Planners, we handle the heavy lifting, the paperwork, the filings, the coordination with our Cook Islands partners. Our goal? To make this easy so you can focus on living your life and running your business and not worrying about the lawsuit over your shoulder. Okay, so now I hope you're fired up to protect your wealth. Awesome. Let's break this down into 5 practical steps that you can take right now. Number 1, know your risks. List your assets, cash, property, investments, even your business. Then ask, what's at risk? Lawsuits, divorce, creditors. 60% of our clients find vulnerabilities they didn't expect when they make this list, like personal guarantees on loans. Knowledge is power. Step number 2, get a Wyoming LLC. Typically, when we set up an asset protection plan, we include a Wyoming LLC holding company with each order. So this is a quick win. When we do this, we set you up with a Wyoming LLC, a nominee manager for privacy, and a virtual office. It takes about a week and costs less than a new phone. Your assets go into the LLC and you're off the public records. Step 2, consider a Cook Islands LLC. Got over $500,000 in assets or a high-risk business like medicine or construction? Talk to us about going offshore. A Cook Islands LLC adds control and a layer of protection most creditors won't touch, especially when you add the next step, number 4, explore the Cook Islands Trust. Now, this is the gold standard. You can book a free consultation at assetprotectionplanners.com to see if a trust with an LLC inside of it fits your goals. So we'll explain the costs, the timelines, and how this syncs with your U.S. setup. Here's a fun fact. 85% of our trust clients say the process is really simpler than they thought. We have a customer service team that walks people through step by step so we make the process easy. Step 5, keep it fresh. Asset protection isn't one and done. Review your plan yearly. New assets, new risks, new opportunities. We're here to help you keep your fortress strong. So here's a quick story to motivate you. Rachel, a retired dentist, thought her malpractice insurance was enough, and then a former patient sued her for $4 million, claiming a botched procedure from years ago. Insurance didn't cover it. We set up a Cook Islands Trust with an LLC inside. We moved her assets offshore into a Swiss bank account, and then when the lawsuit landed, the plaintiff got nothing. So Rachel told us, I wish I'd done this sooner. So don't wait for your Rachel moment. Start protecting your assets right away because you'll be a lot better off. So there you have it, the complete guide to making your LLC rich and yourself lawsuit proof, from Wyoming LLCs to Cook Islands LLCs to the unbeatable Cook Islands Trust with an LLC inside. We've got the tools to protect your wealth like a pro. So spent 34 years in asset protection and nearly 30 years setting up the Cook Islands Trust, and I can tell you, nothing beats it for peace of mind. I mean, lawsuits can be so stressful and create such havoc in your business because you're so distracted, and peace of mind you get when your assets are protected is really priceless. So before you go, hit that subscribe button. We drop new videos every week, tips on how to grow and protect your wealth. Got questions? Pop it in the comments. I read all of them. If this video helped you, give it a thumbs up. It helps to reach more people who need this. So here's my parting thought. Your wealth is not just dollars, it's your freedom. It's your family's future, your legacy. So protect it like it matters because it does. I'll see you in the next video.